Hi again everyone. In today's Biblical Cities of the Holy Land video, we will take a look at the Old Testament city of Ekron. The city of Ekron is located in western Israel on the edge of both the plain of the Philistines to the west and the Shephelah to the east. The city was one of the 5 cities of the Philistines known as the Pentapolis. This city though has a history that reaches far back into the earlier Canaanite period, during the early Bronze Age. However, the city later came into prominence during the sites controlled by the Philistines, during the latter part of the Bronze Age and into the Iron Age, where it reached a size of over 50 acres with a 10-acre upper city and a 40-acre lower city. Evidence of Philistine occupation at and control of Ekron is demonstrated by the discovery of numerous artifacts that are connected to the Philistine culture, and which have also been found at other Philistine sites in Israel and elsewhere. These include the presence of a large amount of Philistine pottery, known as bichrome white slipware, and the discovery of the remains of a type of building design known as a megaron, which are common in the Aegean region, but only one other such structure has been so far been discovered in Israel, at another Philistine settlement located at Tel Miqne. The first mention of Ekron in the Old Testament is in the book of Joshua, chapter 13, verse 3, where its connection with the Philistines is clearly mentioned. The city is then mentioned in 20 other verses elsewhere in the Old Testament. Some famous biblical incidents that took place at the city include the incident where the Philistines attempted to take the captured Ark of the Covenant to Ekron before they finally sent it back to the Israelites, which can be found in 1 Samuel chapter 5 verse 10. The Philistines also fled to this city after the defeat of Goliath by David in 1 Samuel chapter 17 verse 52. The fact that the city was located on the border of the lands controlled by the Israelites to the east and the Philistines in the west made this nearby city a very logical place for the defeated Philistines to flee to safety. Later on, King Ahaziah of Israel attempted to send a messenger to Ekron after having had a serious fall, so as to inquire of the god of Ekron known as Beelzebub, which means in Hebrew the Lord of the Flies, whether he would recover from the injuries from his fall or not. The earliest known extra-biblical references to Ekron are dated to the Assyrian period in the 8th to 7th centuries BC, where the city is mentioned in Assyrian records as being conquered and controlled during the reigns of the Assyrian kings Sennacherib, Esarhaddon, and Ashurbanipal. One famous Assyrian source that mentions Ekron is the famous Sennacherib prism, which is also called the Taylor prism, which I have made an earlier video on, which link will be above. A later, late 7th century BC source, known as the Adon letter, which was written in Aramaic on papyrus, preserves the attempts of a man called Adon, who was possibly the king of Ekron, to appeal to Egypt for military assistance against the encroaching Babylonians. The city appears to have been captured and destroyed by the Babylonians in around 603 BC and never fully recovered, though a smaller settlement existed at the location during the Roman period, and settlement at the site continued into the 6th century BC based on its appearance in the famous Madaba map. The site of Ekron only began to be excavated in the 1980s, partly due to the fact that the city's very low tell, a tell being a man-made mound, which is called Tel Miqne, was barely distinguishable from the surrounding hills, and had gone unnoticed as a result. A dedication inscription that was discovered at the site in 1996 mentions that the king of Ekron, whose name was Padai, who, according to the Sennacherib prism, had remained loyal to King Sennacherib of Assyria during Hezekiah's rebellion against Assyria in the late 8th century BC, dedicated a temple to an Assyrian god in the city. This inscription therefore helps to prove that this site is indeed biblical Ekron. The city is also important for the fact that well over 100 olive presses with other production facilities, which date to the Assyrian control of the city, have been unearthed at the site, making the city the largest known centre for industrial olive oil production in the ancient Near East. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe for more new videos every Friday.